A Florida man assaulted his girlfriend with a sex toy after she insulted his manhood. A Florida woman hides hot bullets in her hot lady pocket. A Florida man sues Dunkin Donuts for an exploding toilet. And a Florida law requires pet owners to give them daily exercise. These are the weird stories for Friday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast in the galaxy. And on Friday, we only do weird news from Florida. We call it Florida Friday on Weird AF News. I have several degenerate Florida stories from just this week for you. Let's go. A Florida man attacked his girlfriend with a dildo after she insulted his manhood. Florida man's got problems, and Florida man problems require Florida man solutions. Like a dildo beatdown, apparently. We have 38-year-old Stephen Nerdin. He's the Florida man star of our story. Stephen was arrested for battery after attacking his girlfriend with a pink dildo because she called him, quote, limp D. I'm not going to say what the D is, but you can imagine. This is a children's podcast, by the way. I'm not going to say the D. She insulted his manhood. She also claimed that Stephen needed Viagra, so you can imagine. And then, of course, he attacked her with a dildo, naturally, because that's how you solve problems in Florida. How'd you like to write this report up for your police chief? Exhibit A, the weapon, a pink dildo. He attacked her because she insulted his manhood, said he needed Viagra. The fact that he had the dildo only proves this case. The accusation of limpness is spot on. Now let's dive into the police report. This is all according to the Pinellas County. You guys know Pinellas County. That's our favorite county. That's where all the people with the high IQs live. It says Stephen and his girlfriend were arguing about their relationship less than 2 hours after ringing in the new year. Oh, they just rang in the new year. Kissy, kissy. And then they argued about their relationship. They have problems. It escalated. The argument escalated into a physical battle. The girlfriend told Stephen he had a limp D and that he needed Viagra, which upset Stephen. Stephen allegedly became so angry that he took out the pink dildo and the pink dildo, he shoved it into his girlfriend's mouth. So that's a horrible thing to do. Shove it into her mouth, all while holding the back of her head, it says, according to the Pinellas County arrest affidavit. Now, it says here the girlfriend struck Stephen in the eye. He later told investigators he could not remember attacking her with the sex toy, per se, but claimed that she did punch him in the eye. This is called selective amnesia, if you're a lawyer. It says that the two of these Floridians had been dating for a year and a half and actually shared a house together. Sadly, Stephen has been barred from contacting the girlfriend following all of this and will be required to wear an alcohol monitoring device as well. He previously served a 13-year prison sentence for armed robbery, aggravated assault, and felonious possession of firearms. Funny, they're going to put an alcohol monitoring device on him. They should put an assault monitoring device on him is what they should do. Yep. A Florida woman hid shell casings from a shooting in her private area. In her private area, you know, the old prison purse, the old meat pocket. I wonder if she waited for the shell casings to cool off before she put them down there. Put some hot bullet shell casings right down in your privates. What my hot privates? I got them hot privates. A woman in Florida has been charged with evidence tampering and resisting officers. The police say she hid gun shell casings in her private parts. She got these gun shell casings from the scene of a fatal shooting. According to the arrest reports, the police responded to and arrested Destiny Pendleton, age 23. They had received calls about a shooting at a residence in Leesburg. Once on the scene, they found a 37-year-old man covered in blood and rather motionless. I'm going to say that guy's dead. The man was later identified as Lakendra Hall, and he was in fact dead. And Destiny was standing next to the body, apparently. Records allege Pendleton gave chase once seeing the officers and ran to the back of the house, climbed a fence into the neighbor's yard, and then jumped off, plummeting to the ground. Wow, they're getting very detailed with this description of her getaway attempt. It says here, next, she was detained without incident. It actually says without incident. I would say that's an incident. She jumped into a neighbor's yard. That is trespassing. This is an incident. These are further incidents. Now, the police began patting her down after they arrested her and noticed, quote, obstructions in her left front pocket resembling a spent shell casing. There were 3 or 4 shell casings that the officers could discern at first, they alleged, and when they asked Destiny what the items were in her pocket area, she allegedly confirmed they were taken from the crime scene where officers first began chasing her. Well, she seems very cooperative for a Florida woman. However, a few moments later, an arresting officer went to take the shell casings out of Pendleton's pocket, but they had gone missing mysteriously. When they asked Destiny where they were, she told officers she didn't know what they were talking about. In fact, search with the help of a female officer shortly after that exchange, however, led to the 3 bullet casings being found inside Pendleton's, quote, front private area where she had taken them out of her front left pocket and put them in that private area. I like it. It's like so very vague. Private area where they're taking them out of the private area. They're in the front private area. The front private area. We're supposed to know what you mean. People have various genitalia these days. Sometimes it's a penis. Sometimes it's a vagina. Sometimes it's a combo platter. You could probably be more specific. I guess it is specific in the fact that it's like the front private area rather than the rear private area. So, because some people just put them right up the rear private area, and we all know what that is. We all share that private area, I assume. Does someone have something else back there? Is there some new back private area that I need to know about? Now, it says here, the man accused of killing Hall is Kevin Harrison, age 19, and he surrendered himself to authorities. Wow, so I thought she shot him, but no, she was hiding the shell cases of a murderess, trying to help somebody out by putting hot bullet cases in her front private area. Wow, no one would ever do that for me. This is love, Florida style. Well, I got a gun, and you got a gun, and he got a gun, and she got a gun. We all got the guns in the pants in Florida. You gonna whip out your gun, I'm gonna whip out my gun. She gonna whip out her gun, we gonna whip out our guns. We all got our guns in Florida. Want to create a podcast? Spotify's platform lets you easily make, record, distribute a podcast everywhere, even earn money, all in one place and for free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters. Record and edit on your phone or computer, send it to Spotify and everywhere podcasts are heard. They even have video podcasting options as well. Spotify for Podcasters allows you to earn money with ads and subscriptions too. Best of all, it's free. Try it. Download Spotify for Podcasters or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your life, man. A Florida man claims a Dunkin Donuts toilet exploded and covered him in feces. This is not the first time someone blew up a toilet at Dunkin's after a lodge with extra cream and extra sugar. Let's learn a little bit about this exploding toilet. You thought you had a crappy day, huh? You thought you had a crappy day? Florida man has filed a lawsuit against Dunkin Donuts, claiming that he is no longer able to enjoy life because during a 2022 visit to a Dunkin Donuts in Florida, the toilet allegedly exploded on him, covering him in feces and urine as well. Well, this probably isn't the worst thing that can happen to you at a Florida Dunkin Donuts. Probably the second worst thing that could happen to you at a Florida Dunkin Donuts. Imagine the calamities, the degeneracy that's going down at Florida Dunkin Donuts. This is getting off easy, I would say. Now, the lawsuit was just filed, but the incident happened in January of 2022. Somehow it slipped my awareness for Weird AF News Florida Friday style. We have Paul Kerouac visited a Dunkin Donuts in Winter Park, Florida on that day. The lawsuit alleges that Paul went to use the restroom where a toilet allegedly exploded, causing Paul and the room to become covered in, quote, debris, including human feces and urine, according to the lawsuit. This is simply terrible. And by the way, just for the record, I prefer my toilet explosions in the comfort of my own home. It says here, following this toilet explosion incident, Paul Kerouac reportedly left the bathroom and asked the employees for help cleaning himself. That seems reasonable, a reasonable request. Although I don't know if those Dunkin Donuts employees are paid enough to clean urine and feces off a stranger. They're barely paid enough to mop the floor, and they hardly do. Now you're kind of making a request. I thought it was reasonable, but perhaps not given the pay grade. According to the lawsuit, employees told Paul that, quote, they were aware of the problem with the toilet, and this was not the first time something like this happened. Wow, this toilet's been going off, apparently. This toilet's out for revenge, it seems. Someone ought to make a movie about this. Call it Bath Bomb. The untold story of how one brave Dunkin Donuts toilet fought back. Just blowing up on people. Wow, this is wild. Now we have here the lawsuit states that this incident left Kerouac with bodily injuries and psychological damages resulting in pain and suffering, disability, permanent and significant emotional injury, mental anguish, loss of the capacity for the enjoyment of life, expenses for medical care and treatments, all because of this exploding toilet on his backside. Oh, I would have loved to have been in the room where the attorneys were coming up with the injury claims. What are we going to go with, guys? Well, maybe we could go with, we'll go with scarred butt cheeks. Yep, can't be a butt cheek model, ever. Severe rectal trauma. And I'm going to say a level 2 colon collapse as well. Let's put that in there. Don't forget the mental anguish. It does say the loss of the capacity for the enjoyment of life, which is true. Because one of the biggest enjoyments in life is taking a comfortable crapola. Can we all agree on that? And this guy's never going to be able to take a comfortable crapola for the rest of his life. He's got toilet PTSD. He's got number 2 PTSD. It's a terrible way to go forward in life. And medical expenses, obviously, it's expensive to get your butt put back together, from my understanding. Those Brazilian butt lifts are not cheap. Butt restructure charges have to be up there, way up there. Now, of course, the Dunkin Donuts location is accused of negligence, with the lawsuit claiming it failed to warn customers such as Kerouac about possible hazards and failed to maintain the toilet. Yeah, they warned him, but afterward, oh yeah, it does that. It explodes like that. This is Florida, where you don't explode in toilets. They explode on you. Don't you know that? Kerouac is seeking damages over $50,000. And I hope he gets some. Hope he gets more than that. But you can't be certain he's going to win this case. You cannot be certain. You would have a better chance if you said a head appeared in the toilet bowl and sexually harassed you. Then you'd win that case. But I don't know about the toilet burp incident. Toilet burp? Yeah, that's a toilet burp. Didn't you know? Yay! Florida adopts a new law that requires dog owners to give their pets their daily exercise. Oh, Florida lawmakers, always tackling the important issues, making sure the doggies get walked. Because there's no real problems in Florida, right? At least I can't think of any. Can you think of any problems in Florida? Not really. There's really nothing to see here, There's not people beating one another with pink dildos in the face. Exploding toilets, that doesn't exist. No. People aren't putting bullet cases from a crime scene in their vajages. These things aren't happening. Got to make sure the doggies get walked. This story is out of Deltona, Florida. It's not the whole state of Florida, but this one Florida city just adopted a new set of rules for dog owners, and it includes a bunch of strict mandates when it comes to animal cruelty and for keeping pets healthy and safe, which is good. We want our pets healthy. We want our pets safe. But have they gone too far with this? I mean, it would seem that the pets have more rights than trans people in Florida. But let's dive in and find out. On Tuesday, the city of Deltona approved amendments, and they all pertain to animals. And they include, quote, more comprehensive regulations concerning animal cruelty in the community. Among these changes is a new requirement that requires dog owners to give their pets daily exercise. Daily exercise. Here is the quote here from the actual amendment. Animals must be given appropriate daily exercise. Subjective varies from dog to dog dependent on age, health, and breed. That's right from the ordinance. Okay, let's keep going. The document did not go into detail about what qualifies as daily exercise, but according to the American Kennel Club, that varies depending on dog size and dog age. Some opportunities for dog exercises are walking, hiking, swimming, running up and down the stairs, and playing fetch or tug, to name a few. As if you didn't know any of that. But okay, thanks, American Kennel Club, Captain Obvious. So you got to walk your dog every day. Does it mention other animals? Do you have to take your pet gecko or cockatoo for a little stroll around the neighborhood, or just the dogs? What if you're old, or you have a broken leg, or you had your toenail removed from a surgery? That happens. People have their toenails removed. You can't walk after that, not for days. It's very uncomfortable. You can't even put the shoe on, you know? Never mind a croc. Can't put a croc on over your removed toe. What if it's unsafe to walk your dog in your neighborhood? I can imagine these Florida neighborhoods. I mean, some of them are just overrun with sidewalk gators and people that belong to the methamphetamine club. You know those people. So, I mean, what if you live in a place like that? Some dogs can't even exercise, man. I did a story that it highlighted that more strollers were purchased for dogs than for babies last year. So it would seem that a large swath of dog owners in the US of A are pushing their dog around in a stroller, which isn't exactly exercise for the dog. It's exercise for the human, but not for the dog. What do you do in a situation like that? Some dogs, you can't even exercise because they have asthma. You know the ones. You know those French bulldogs. You can't take them for a walk more than 2 blocks. They just... I've done the impression many times on this. Nice dog you have there. Can I pet your dog? If your dog needs an oxygen machine after one flight of stairs, maybe not get that dog is all I'm saying. Deltona, the city in Florida, also adopted several other changes, including guidelines on animal enclosures, weather protection, and car safety as well. Wow, they really give a damn about the dogs. For example, shelters for dogs must provide adequate protection from cold and heat, specifically when temperatures fall below 40 degrees. Dogs must be moved indoors when highs top 90 degrees. They must also provide a fan to maintain the temperature in a shelter at or above 90 degrees. Wow. There are also new rules for animal enclosures, including the size of the animal enclosures, etc. Dogs, cats, and other animals should always be, quote, provided clean water, dry ground, shade for protection from the sun, thunderstorms, lightning, hail, hurricanes, tornadoes, tropical storms, floodwaters, winds in excess of 20 miles per hour, and other natural man-made calamities. Doesn't say gators in there. I was very surprised. You should have to provide protection from the alligators, but it doesn't say that in this amendment. How sad. How sad. Another section of the amendment deals with dogs being confined in an unattended car without sufficient ventilation. You must have sufficient ventilation. Ventilation. That's French for air, I believe. Nothing in this new ordinance about eating dogs, though. You would think that they would put that in there, because you can't put it past Floridians to eat dogs. They will eat dogs in Florida. Of course they'll eat a dog. They eat human faces in Florida. If you don't believe me, Google it. Hello, my friends and loyal listeners of the Weird AF News podcast. Thanks for spending this Florida Friday episode with us. And I appreciate everybody who sent me Florida articles the past 48 hours. Very helpful. Very helpful. You made my job easy. Hopefully I was able to put the best Florida Friday episode together for you. And I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you had a great weekend, or you're about to have one, or you're in the midst of having a great weekend. I'm going to give thanks and praise off the top here. First to Christopher Oates, who bought me coffees off my website, weirdafnews.com. You can buy Jonesy coffees there, or you can actually go to buymeacoffee.com/funnyjones. So that's another way to buy Jonesy coffees. And when you buy me coffees, you can write a little note. And Christopher Oates wrote me a great note. It says, "Hey, Jonesy, you get me through life, work, and more. Thanks a lot, bro. Enjoy your coffees. I ain't got a lot. I can do this for now." That was really sweet of Chris. He says he ain't got a lot, but he still did this. So I greatly appreciate that, Chris. Thank you so much. And I appreciate your generosity. And although you don't got a lot, you can still buy me some coffees as a nice gesture of appreciation. And I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you so much. If you guys would like to call the show, I have a phone number here. You can leave a voicemail. It's 646-450-2012. And then I got an email. If you'd like to send me articles or just say hello over the weekend or ask me a question, feel free. It's funnyjones@gmail.com. If you want to follow me on my Instagram and find out where my stand-up comedy shows, I have 2 shows this weekend, tonight and tomorrow in Hollywood, both of them. And my Instagram is @funnyjones, @funnyjones on Instagram. So all the information is in there. Please follow me on the gram. Hope you enjoyed those best of 2023 episodes of Weird AF News. They were each over an hour long. I tried to keep them under an hour, but there was just too many good, weird stories from last year, so they trickled over an hour. I apologize. I don't like to make my episodes go very, very long, but I thought this was a special occasion. So 2 hour plus long episodes, Best of Weird AF News 2023. If you haven't listened to those, go back. They were released on Tuesday and Wednesday, I believe. Was it Tuesday and Wednesday? Yes. Or was it Tuesday and Thursday? Anyways, Tuesday and Wednesday or Tuesday and Thursday. They're on the last 2 episodes prior to this Florida Friday one. You'll find the Best of Weird AF News 2023, Part 1 and Part 2. So I got a lot of feedback from them. People enjoyed them. Someone asked me, "Jonesy, how did you find all of these best of segments to put in there?" And I was like, it's easy. Coffee and ganja and scrolling. That's basically how I did it. All right. It's not a mystery. Little ganj, little coffee. And I can really tackle any task at that point. Right. Okay, so I'll let you go. This has been a long episode because it's the Florida episode. They're typically longer than the other ones, so don't want to waste your time. Lastly, I'll just say if you want to support the show, you can buy me coffees off my website, weirdafnews.com, or you can join the Patreon as well on that website, weirdafnews.com. Hope you have an amazing weekend. Love you. Good luck with your life, man.